Hello, Next community. I wanted to show you one of my daily projects here. So Jason sent me his version 5.1 card here, and it's like on a 16 gig, and I sold it to him a few years back, and he's going to help me on our project to create a nice clean ISO of NeXT apps. And I got to thinking, well, I like to help people that help out the next community, so I'm going to update him. I'm giving him his choice of a Zulu 2.0 card or a Blue SCSI 2.0. And so for starters, I thought Openstep allows for larger partitions, which would be nice. And on previous 3.1 here, what I did is I went ahead and installed on one of the disk partitions here. Let's see. It's going to register as 0 bytes, and that's a flaw. They never thought there was going to be anything above a 2 gig disk. And from my understanding, Openstep will handle up to 4 gig single partitions. On version 3.3, you can do a 4 gig install, but then you have to mount that second partition for it to be seen under NeXT fstab, right? And so that's where it gets a little complicated, and most people are deer in the headlights. So moving back to this, including myself at one point in time, is I went ahead and installed NeXTSTEP 3.3, user developer Y2K patches, all the documentation, and then used an Openstep ISO to update everything to Openstep 4.2, okay? And installed the user developer Y2K for Openstep 4.2 using the Upgrader app. So the advantage of that is it keeps all the original 3.3 libraries, and then you have the Openstep 4.2 libraries, and I'm starting to tinker with the dev tools as well. So from there, it looks like it installed about 30 packages, and normally I used build disk, by the way, too. Once I had the pristine image all set, I used build disk to build it from that image to this one. So it's a nice clean install. Now what I'm going to do from here is take it over to the system that I've been working on. It's a turbo cube that I have 2 hard drives attached, and I think I've got a SCSI connector. This is where it gets a little complicated, that has 3 connectors, and I should be able, having just this single partition set as 0, boot it up, and then with any luck, I'll make another video showing you. I'm going to copy over because there's a bunch of neat applications that I would like to include on our master ISO. And obviously, having 6 2.8 gig partitions will give us a little more wiggle room. I'll be able to offer an Openstep version when I sell the bundled Zulu 2.0 SCSI cards with a 32 gig SD. So you'll have a choice of NeXTSTEP or Openstep, which I think people will enjoy, and maybe there'll be just a slight premium on the Openstep because it will include more space and more apps. And so I'm just bouncing stuff off the wall here. Jason, I think you're going to be psyched because you'll have the latest version of the card and a faster SD. I think the 5.1 I sold you is probably about 3 or 4 years old, so we'll have the latest tech. And I like working on the Zulu cards as well. So under previous, it kind of gives you the ability, if you install the original app, and I'm going to make a video on how to do that. They have different disk partitions that are compressed. So I uncompressed new in version 3.1 is a 2.8 gig image, right? And so I'm going to see if I could change the name, because the extension on it is currently .sd, and I know that previous will boot a .hda extension. So I'm going to see if it's as simple as renaming it, right? And then dropping that image onto my formatted SD card here, okay? Because it mounts it over here. I set it up to be master boot record and FAT32 in the utility app. I know I'm going kind of fast, but as usual, I have a lot of things on my plate and time's wasted. So we'll see if it works in video too. If it does, that's huge, because I could take, now an Openstep, a larger partition over to a system that's also going to be running with hard drives. So we'll have a combo system that has the SD card. As I say, it's just going to have a 2 gig this time. And see if I can retrieve the apps from that hard drive. I've done that before, so I know that's possible. And we'll see how it works. I haven't done it with 2 hard drives, though, and an SD. So we'll see how it goes here. Stay tuned. I know that's a lot. You guys are going, what the heck is he talking about? But I think it will be easier to visualize once I get over to the other system.